And then I met my husband. I started my business last year. But here they come, they bring your menu and they're like, Lavadiana. If you have a mixed marriage, a mixed family, the main concern is
how was adapting to the Lithuanian culture for you?
Horrible. Oh, I really don't want to be here.
Lovely viewers, welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Princess Celina, and this is the Borgas Talk. Literally, we invite foreigners in Lithuania to come and share their experiences in Lithuania while we cook something from their country of origin. Today's guest is from, you guess, Philippines. She's the first guest ever from Philippines. So today we are going to be talking about life in Lithuania as foreigners, starting businesses here in Lithuania and how hard or easy things are, raising kids, and a lot more. So guys, I introduce to you today's guest, Celina.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Thank you for inviting me. And
I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh.
Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. I know we've been talking a lot online.
Yes, on Facebook.
When I order from your store. But to really talk face to face and meet each other, it's
a real pleasure.
Thank you.
So how have you been, Celina?
Great, busy, but manageable.
I can imagine life in Lithuania.
Yeah, it's good. It's getting better, and now that it's autumn, I am really happy. I love autumn. And
is it your favorite season or something?
It is. Autumn is my favorite season, and winter as well.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I've heard that many foreigners or even Lithuanians, they find autumn and winter a little bit depressing.
Yeah.
But it's actually the opposite for me. I look forward to autumn and winter every year.
Guys, she's a different kind of foreigner.
I'm glad to give you some presents.
Really?
Some snacks from the Philippines.
Oh my god!
I usually, order a lot from some Filipino stores here around Europe, and I wanted you to try them, or your son. I think your son or
yeah, she said daughter.
Daughter.
Oh my god! Thank you so much.
And I'm sure he will love this. These are sticks. I think in Lithuania they call it waflining.
Okay.
But in Philippines we call it just sticks.
Waffles. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Oh.
So these are strawberry flavored sticks or waflining, and this is ube flavored wafers or waffles, and or waflining. And ube is our famous Filipino ingredient for dessert. So it's called purple yam.
I think I've seen it before. I've just never tried it.
They have, I'm sure, in Africa as well. It's naturally colored purple. It's like taro or kokiam.
Okay.
But it's the same consistency. It's starchy, but it's naturally purple. So we have this abundant in the Philippines, and we mainly use it for desserts. I also use it in my business as well, for my cakes and cupcakes and, cookies.
Aww.
And I want you to try them.
Thank you so much. I love them. Like, the pictures on them, they look so amazing, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so these are like bread, we eat it for snacks, like watching TV or, wherever, or for school even.
She didn't just come to cook for me. She also brought me things. But I'm so sorry I didn't bring anything for you. I'm so sorry.
Come on, don't say sorry. It's fine. I'm your guest. I should be the one bringing you.
Oh, you are so kind. So, Celina, what are we making today?
Okay, so today we are going to cook what we consider the Philippine national dish, which is adobo. Since we're going to use chicken as our protein, then we call it chicken adobo. You're wondering, why do we call it adobo? The Spaniards, so this is like the first documented pre-colonial Filipino dish. First documented by the Spaniards. And in Spanish, since they saw that the Filipinos were marinating the protein with using vinegar and salt. To marinate in Spanish, they call it adobar.
Oh.
Okay, so in Spanish it's adobar, and so when they saw what the Filipinos were preparing, they called this dish adobo de los naturales. So adobo of the natives.
Oh.
That's what it meant. So the name of adobo is, what people like remember when they see this dish. Oh, it's that adobo. So
But not the
that
other
stuff.
things that come after.
Yeah, not.
Yeah.
We know we're natives. They know it. We didn't know that at the time, but yeah. So adobo got stuck. The name got stuck, and that's it. We call it adobo ever
Wow,
since.
interesting.
Yeah.
Ever since you came to Lithuania,
Yes.
have you seen any dish similar to the dish we are about to make today?
Actually, no, not at all. Lithuanian dishes are mostly with potatoes or with like meat, stews. This is basically a
But the
stew.
Lithuanians have stews.
They do. I've like encountered some with like a bit of sauce and some, thick
I thought they
sauce.
call it sauce. I didn't know they call it stew.
Something like that. I would interpret it in that. But their food is like there's not much broth. I think, but there's a little bit of sauce into it, so I think it's a stew. I think so.
How different are Lithuanian people to Filipino people?
Extremely different. Extremely. When you meet Filipino people, you can see their smiles.
Yeah.
People are a little bit happier.
I felt the energy from you when I met you,
Yes, but they're probably it's because we have too much sun in the Philippines, or we have like plenty of beaches, and our the way of life is totally different. But here in Lithuania, of course, we probably also it affected them because of their history and all that. They're like not so friendly faces, no smiles or whatever.
And you realize these days it's even changing.
Yeah, yes. And now, like even when you go to city center, you're like varied nationalities.
Yeah.
And Lithuanians even are a bit more now, in my opinion, more open to foreigners, and they don't mind. Like I think before, when I recently arrived to Lithuania, I can see plenty of people like checking me and like looking.
Where is
like,
this one
where's
coming
she
from?
Yeah. But I think that's because plenty of people didn't get a chance to meet a foreigner yet.
How are we going to go about
Okay,
the dish?
so what we need to do first is we have to cut the garlic, like we can remove this, I cut it just to open the garlic, and I remove the ends of it. So we're going to put them on the chicken. Yeah, like this. Basically, we're going to just marinate everything together. So next one would be your vinegar. Okay, so half a cup of vinegar. And then we have a cup of soy sauce. Half a cup of water. We will add the bay leaves as well. Around 5 or 6 would be enough. Peppercorns. So let's just spread it there. We let the chicken marinate for a while to let the flavors develop and get absorbed by the chicken. While marinating, so we can cover it. So yeah, they're safe.
Can we start cooking the rice?
The rice,
Wow.
yes.
How do you cook your rice?
I use a small pot.
So we are using a
how I
pot
do it.
today?
Yes. Let's pour it on your pot. We have already washed our rice. We're going to add some water. And now, what we're going to do is to put the tip of this finger where you can touch the rice. And then you have to check this line. If the water is above that line, then you have to lessen the water. If the water is below that line, then you have to put a bit more water. And that's it. It's ready to be cooked.
So you were telling me there's a secret to making the chicken?
Yes. So while marinating it and even while boiling it, you shouldn't mix
Then how would the spices get to know each other?
they will mix, and it will be good, and we're going to boil them anyway. So this is what I do. So I marinate it only for an hour. If I would need to cook this dish on the same day.
Okay.
Otherwise, I leave it overnight to to really marinate properly. And then we have to fry the chicken, and then we put it back in the same pot where you marinate it, and then we boil it.
Wow.
And then after that, we add the other ingredients.
Why did you come to Lithuania?
Good question. My story of how I decided to come to Lithuania is always tied to the story of, or the country where I lived before
And where
coming
was
here.
that?
I worked and lived in Oman for almost 9 years. Those 9 years, I consider it as my golden years. I built a career in Oman. I really had a good time. My younger years were
What were you
spent
doing
there.
there?
At first, I was working in a private hospital. I worked in the radiology department, the imaging department, and then after that, I transferred to the Ministry of Health. I was still working with plenty of doctors who would
what
like
were you
to
doing in
specialize.
particular?
It's more on administration. I was managing the radiology residency training program for young doctors. So doctors like general practitioners who would like to specialize in a certain field of medicine, they join our office. So this office is still under the government's, like they control everything, the government. And those who would like to specialize in radiology, they join our program. Those who would like to specialize in family medicine, they join another program. So this is an office. It's a government office for such education for young doctors. So I was managing the radiology program. Since I worked in the radiology department, so it's kind of related. And then I met my husband in Oman.
Lithuanian man.
My husband's company sent him to Oman for a project. My husband is a software developer. He's into computers. So we met in salsa bachata dance class. We were dance partners.
So guys, you are still watching the Borgas Talk. If you enjoyed this chat and this dish, everything, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then let us know your thoughts in the comment section. How long was he supposed to be in Oman?
He stayed there for 3 years.
Okay, it's a lot.
Yeah, it could be longer, but we decided we should move to Lithuania.
So what are you doing here in Lithuania now?
I am a full-time and proud stay-at-home mom. Yes, it's a lot of work.
I can imagine.
And at the same time, I'm also a business owner.
Are you a superwoman or
something? Not really. No.
It doesn't look like
that. Not really.
Like, it's not easy to manage a business here in Lithuania, is it?
True. It's not. Business last year, in May of 2023. I think it's, I mentioned earlier, I'm a half glass full person, and I treat everything as a good experience or as a learning experience, whether it's good or bad. So I think it was a good year for me, and it is still a good year. So basically, I have a small business. It's a home-based business. I am selling and I'm making Filipino food, and I would like to introduce this Filipino flavors here in Lithuania.
Okay.
Through
Are
my
you
business.
planning to have the restaurant someday?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
I'm actually working on it. We are looking into places, checking the process on how to go about it.
So guys, if you ever visit Lithuania, or even they can order online, how do you sell to your customers so that those watching you who are interested in eating Filipino food.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a website. It's meriendainlithuania.com.
Oh, in that case, I'll leave the link to it in the
Yes,
description section.
yes, thank you. I also I have a Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok.
Yes,
Yes. We are following each other, and the YouTube as well. I just recently started this summer because I wanted to post some videos, longer videos, with the highlights of some of the events that I have organized or I have been invited to.
So how easy was or how hard was it to even start that business in the first place? Considering the Lithuanian laws changing and this and that.
Yes. It was a struggle in the beginning. Of course, Filipino food is not popular in Lithuania. If you compare it to, let's say, other European countries, we don't have much Filipinos here. Our presence is not that known yet, even our food. Maybe some people know about it, some people have tried it. So it was a bit difficult for me to introduce Filipino flavors in Lithuania but nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
With that, I contact certain organizations or some individuals to, let's say, help me introduce Filipino flavors through, let's say, events. I organize some events through IOM, which is the International Organization for Migration. I have organized 3 events with them last year. Oh, no, sorry, this year. April of this year and June. So 2 in April, 1 in June. And hopefully I will be doing more events with them in the future. I join fairs or moges. I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Because how else would you do it?
Yeah, how
isn't
else?
it?
Yeah. And then how about the laws? Is it easy?
No, it's not. Since, I am making food and I'm dealing with food, I have to have certain certificates. I have, first of all, a hygiene certificate. I applied to the VMVT, which is the Veterinary and Food Service, a board here in Lithuania that certifies your kitchen to
Be
to have a
hygienic
permit.
enough,
Yeah,
yes.
permit, yes. To have a permit to sell food. So I have accomplished that November of last year. So
Congratulations.
thank you. It's really such a difficult task to do. Of course, you have to have a business certificate. I have both a business certificate and individual activity because I also sell some chocolates and ready-made, let's say, essences as well, like my Filipino, like ube or jackfruit. I have both certificates plus this BMVT, and you have to really make sure you maintain the cleanliness of the kitchen, and even your packaging has to have a certificate.
Even packaging.
Even packaging, yes. I order from some online sellers. They have their own websites and all that, and I get this the document stating that this certain packaging is safe for food. So that's a requirement from the VMVT. Not only that, I document my ingredients every time I have an order. So I have to make sure that the expiration date is long enough. I check where I bought it from, when, the expiration, if I finish the complete pack. So I document everything. So
the customer
process.
needs to be able to see all these things on their package.
Not really, they don't. But in my packaging, I include the ingredients, both in English and Lithuanian, and the possible allergens.
Okay.
So some people, let's say, they're allergic to nuts, or some people don't eat food with gluten.
Yeah.
So, or some allergens, or possible allergens. So I include that in the packaging so that
You package the food. You give the information, all
Yes,
the information
yes,
needed,
I do.
and then you stick it to the package, right?
Sure.
And so the customers can see
Yes.
what they are eating and.
Yes.
Oh.
So on the, let's say, a cake box, I would print stickers with the possible allergens, and
Everything
then I
about
will-
it and then stick it on.
Yes.
I see. I think we should check on our rice.
Yes, we
Yeah.
should. I can hear it bubbling.
Yeah.
Put a bit of oil. Take the chicken one at a time from the marinade. Yeah.
So the rice is ready.
Yeah, ready for me. Yeah. You can put the marinade here slowly. We'll just spread the other spices around. So basically, this is the basic recipe of adobo. This what we have in front of us is basically done. But today we're going to add my favorite type of adobo, which has coconut milk because it tastes creamier than the regular and basic adobo. So this is basically like 200 ml of coconut milk, and we're just going to pour it on the sauce. We can put a little bit of sugar just to taste. You can smell a hint of the acidity because of the vinegar, but you can smell the coconut milk as well.
A few moments later.
So food is ready.
Yay!
Please serve for us to eat.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So this is what we do in the Philippines. So first, of course, we take the white rice. We put it on the plate. So we take a piece of chicken. I'll use your spoon to put the sauce on the rice. So that's it.
So guys, you are still watching the Borgas Talk. If you enjoyed this chat and this dish, everything, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Where is the knife here? You've given me a spoon
yeah.
and a fork. How do
That's
I
right.
eat it?
The use of the knife and the fork is a very European way of eating.
Okay.
We usually don't do that. So for cutting the meat, even like steak or something, we use a spoon and a fork.
Really? Show me how to
This
do
is
it.
how we do it in Philippines. So you tear the meat as it is, like this, and you just cut through. Like the spoon actually is better because the knife is straight, right?
Yeah.
So you just cut it, but with the spoon, you can like
Scoop it.
scoop it, and that's it. It's much better. In Philippines, before we eat, we say kain tayo, which means let's eat. Kain tayo.
Kain tayo! So Celina, thank you so much for this dish. Do you know what I'm going to do? I will
Okay.
eat and then I will rate you.
Okay.
My God. It has so much flavor in there.
Thank you.
I'm definitely going to get more food.
Mm.
I rate you a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
It's very nice. What were some of the culture shocks you faced or experienced when you came to
In
Lithuania?
Lithuania. Oh, okay. So for me, what really bothered me the first time I came here was the reaction, the facial expression of people. It's just
Can you give me some of those?
like they, you beat them or they just look so angry. Like for me, they look angry all the time. You don't see the smiles on their
Yeah.
faces. Usually in the Philippines or in Oman, you go to a restaurant, they serve you good morning. They greet you like they're so happy to see you.
Yeah.
But here they come, they bring your menu, and they're like, Labadiana. That was, now I don't get bothered anymore. I don't. But before, like they bring you a menu, Labadiana, or you go to a store and they look at you like,
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's a
so
customer.
there. Yes. Like all these big stores.
yes, and like you are nuisance.
Yeah.
Like they think of you like, why did you come now? Something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I don't care anymore. For me, it's like, I know they're being Lithuanians.
Yeah, exactly.
That for me bothered me a lot.
What else? Any other culture shocks?
They eat potatoes with everything, I guess.
Yeah.
Because in Philippines we eat potatoes, but not as much as Lithuanians.
We don't eat it at all in Ghana.
You don't? Oh, okay. For us, it's rice. That's our main.
Me too.
Yeah. And here, like everything, sausage with potatoes, or you have, of course, it's Celina, it's understandable. But for me, it's too much potatoes, and because potatoes, you have to make sure that you put more flavor into it so that it will become more palatable.
Yeah.
It's bland. It's so we just eat like French fries, or we add it into stews.
Yeah.
With adobo, you can also put potatoes as well. But when I cook that for my husband, adobo with potato, then I eat it with rice. He said to me like, "But there's already potatoes. What's the rice for?" And for me, it's like, because it completes the meal. And yeah, I mean, just for me, there's too much potatoes. I mean, I can, eat something else. And cabbages too.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of cabbages, yeah.
I don't
But
like
not as
cabbages.
much as potatoes.
Yes. I don't like cabbages very much, so
For me, it depends on how it's made.
I don't like this marinated.
Actually, I like it.
Like you do?
Yeah,
Okay,
I do like it, yeah.
For me, it's okay, like sometimes, but
Not all the time. So, just a day ago, you made this Facebook post with your husband. There was a picture of you and your husband.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Awesome date night. We totally enjoyed a ballad entitled Corsaras."
Corsaras, yes.
And then you said, "Thank you to
Marinavichus?
Varanavichos, all Lithuanian names. Family for this gift and for looking after our girls."
Yes.
Are you not supposed to be Varanavichos? So which other Varanavichos were you talking about?
My last name is Varanavichus, but my C, so the Lithuanian ch has that bird on top, right? But mine is the C, just the C. So let's say if in Lithuanian you're going to pronounce it properly, my last name would be Varanavitsus.
Sus.
Like citrina, like
And
that.
this one was Chos.
Yeah, so the original one for the Lithuanians with the ch, with the bird. Well, that's because when I changed my passport, we got married in 2016 in Seychelles, this African country,
Yeah.
next to Maldives and all that. So we had to take the marriage certificate, and then when I was asking them, how about my last name? Because Lithuanian last names, and alphabet, they have the special characters.
Yeah.
We don't have that in the Philippines.
We don't have it too.
You don't. Okay, so they cannot follow it like how it should be, so they just use the C instead. Yeah, so in my passport it is like that.
So this Varanavichos wasn't you. Who was it?
I
Was a
was
friend or
talking
something?
about my mother-in-law's family,
okay.
his sister. So when we went to the opera of that night, was what Wednesday night? Yeah. We left our daughters with my
them.
mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and they looked after them for 3 hours. So we can go out for a date.
Yeah.
Which is once a year, by the way. Yes.
So when you usually have to do these things, when both you and your husband have to be busy, who usually looks after your kids? Is it your mother-in-law's?
Yes. So usually when I have events and during my events, I request my husband to come with me, to help me to carry lots of stuff, to help me set up.
The employee who never gets paid.
Yeah, exactly. The husbands, the loyal husbands who don't get any sort of payment. They're into a business that they didn't even want.
Yeah.
Sometimes we bring our children to my mother-in-law, but most of the time my husband takes her from her house and she brings her to our home, so that it will be easier for my children. They're in everything. Their toys are here at home. Food I prepare for them before I go. Make sure that they have something to eat, and my mother-in-law as well. So she helps sometimes with me.
Oh, I see. Do you ever sit down to regret the fact that you left your mother back home to come to Lithuania for love?
No, I don't. I think that my parents are really happy for me.
Okay.
You know where I am now, what I have achieved, and they're proud that I am here. They're proud that I am making something for myself in a different country. And I know that my mom would think of it as an opportunity for them to travel.
Oh, that should come here.
Yeah, they did actually.
Oh, just once or...
My mom visited Lithuania, I think, 2 times now.
Okay.
First time when I gave birth to my eldest daughter. The second time last year with my dad.
Oh,
Yes.
but how often do they get to see their grandkids?
Well, physically, if we were talking about like physically to see them, so last year they were here for 3 months, so they spent time with my daughters, with us. But we call them occasionally or like often, like maybe once or twice a week. When we get the time, we call them.
By phone.
By phone.
Okay,
Yes.
but do you visit Philippines?
The last time I visited was 2018. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
We brought my daughter for her baptism. Yes.
I see.
My eldest one. But the second one, my youngest daughter, she was baptized here
Okay.
already.
Alright.
So yeah, I don't quite visit the Philippines often. When I was still working in Oman, I go there every year because it's part of the employment that you get a free ticket back home, and it's you take a full month off. But here in Lithuania, it's difficult to travel. It's expensive, first of all.
And especially now that you're a stay-home mother, you don't really get such benefits.
Exactly. You don't have annual leave or sick leave. None of this at all.
So how is it raising mixed kids for you? What is your experience like raising mixed kids here in Lithuania? Difficult or not?
Well, of course, if you have a mixed marriage, a mixed family, the main concern is the language, isn't it? So for us, we made it in such a way that they would, first of all, learn English as their first language, because I'm talking to them mainly in English, and then my husband speaks to them in Lithuanian. So from the beginning, they're already bilingual.
So guys, you're still watching the Borgas Talk. If you enjoyed this chat and this dish, everything, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then let us know your thoughts in the comment section. And then how about your language?
I tell them some words, I make them hear some words, especially when I speak to my parents. I speak to them in Filipino. When I get angry, sometimes it just comes out, that I mention Filipino words, and then my daughters would just laugh at me.
Oh, meaning they understand.
They don't. they don't. Sometimes I think they do, because like you use the same words, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're angry. But they just laugh at me because they think I sound funny.
Oh.
I sound like, well, Mommy, you're funny. They would react like that. They don't take me seriously when I talk to them in Filipino. It's like, what? They would just say, what are you saying? And they just continue.
Is this even a language?
Yeah. So they just think that I am like trying to be funny or like I'm joking or something.
Yeah.
But they know some words. They do.
Okay. So when you moved here, how was adapting to the Lithuanian culture for you? Was it easy or not?
It was horrible for me. It was a very bad start. I really struggled a lot. Maybe 2 years. I thought that I would just stay here for a few years, and
that's what everybody says.
Yeah. And my husband would find a job somewhere, let's say Western Europe or an English-speaking country. I was that hopeful. You can say.
So delusional.
Yeah, delusional, yes, ambitious, whatever. But But after a while, I realized that I'd rather stay here. Yeah, it's like I ate all those words and like, oh, I really don't want to be here. This place is it's too much for me. I can't, I thought that I won't be able to adapt. First of all, the first few years, I didn't want to learn Lithuanian language.
Me too.
My God, like for me, it sounded
Too
really
difficult.
difficult.
Yes.
And I was asking my husband, like, how do you say this? Like, what is this word?
And the one word just keeps changing and changing and changing.
Yeah, and I cannot pronounce certain vowels, like they're they have them. For me it's just finish. And they have like intermediate like the combination of and the
Now do you speak it?
I do.
Chuputi.
I have to.
We should practice it.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Sheshkas.
Sheshkas.
I think you're doing better than me. And then drogiste.
Drogiste.
The way you say it with so much confidence. Jurone.
Jurone.
Okay. Shwadile.
Shodele.
Guys. She's pronouncing it better. Okay, last one. Jinxnoite.
Jinsniote.
I'm done. I'm so done. You are perfect at speaking Lithuanian.
I try my best.
I thought we were all speaking Chuputi, but
I'm also speaking Truputi.
No, you are advanced. It's just
I'm
Chuputi.
also speaking Truputi. When I get cornered, that's when I speak Lithuanian.
Yeah, all the Lithuanian words
yeah.
you're speaking to.
Like you speak to somebody or you go to a certain place and they don't speak English at all, then I really
Yeah, who
I
are you
have
not to speak
you have
Lithuanian?
to,
Yeah.
Yes. But that's one thing here in Lithuania. Somehow, people know that you are a foreigner, right? And they still speak to you in Lithuanian,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, and then sometimes you try so hard to speak the Lithuanian, it's not coming.
You
And then
struggle.
yes, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I speak English." I'm like,
Oh my God!
"So why were you watching me struggle?"
Torture.
But well, maybe they just want us to learn it. So it's
I think so.
yeah, it's their own ways of trying to push us to learn it. So
Is it really? Because let's say when in the Philippines, when we encounter foreigners, and some foreigners they try to speak the Philippine language as well. For us, it's like something we are so amazed at.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, you speak
Yeah, you're
English,
trying.
so good. And let's say you go to a store and somebody tries to do that, like they get like freebies and stuff. Okay, this is a present for you. Like learning
in
more
Ghana too,
Filipino.
yes.
But somehow here, like they look at you, they see you're struggling, and they're
It's
like,
your responsibility to learn it.
come on, do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm waiting, but yeah, you should. But yeah, because I in other countries, like they know that you're not, let's say, or in Poland, for example, I have had that experience in Poland. They know that you're not Polish. They ask you immediately, English?
Oh.
Like they ask you if you're comfortable, like they talk to you in English. Yes.
Oh, so
it's easier.
Lithuanians, yeah, we really want to learn a language. I mean, we are trying so hard. But you yourself, your language is not easy to learn. So
I think they know.
please,
that.
yeah,
I think they do.
meet us halfway through. Okay?
Yeah, sometimes it's good to meet. But now, when I go to stores and shops, there are people who are.
Oh, they are. But then most of them want you to actually ask them if you speak English before they will speak English to you, even though they know how
I
to
see.
speak English.
All
Yeah.
right.
And I hear that next year is going to be this law. If you don't speak Lithuanian, you cannot have the customer serving positions here.
Yeah. But I think those are mainly for those in the customer service.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
foreigners also want to be in customer service because
True,
yourself that
true.
getting jobs here in
Yes.
Lithuania is not the easiest.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think for us foreigners, that means it's an additional assignment for
Yeah,
us.
it is. Aside
Yeah.
all the immigration, like paperwork
True,
and
yes. Driving, yes. So I think for us foreigners in general, we are taking it as a challenge.
yeah,
Let's think of
we
it like
accept
this.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Let's think of it as a challenge. We accept this challenge, and we will succeed.
Oh yeah,
Something,
yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yes, we will.
We're able
we
to
will.
speak English. It's not our native languages, so
True,
we'll definitely be able
yeah.
to speak this one too.
Exactly.
It couldn't be perfect, but as long as it's conversational.
And there are a lot of foreigners now who
Yeah.
are very fluent in speaking in Lithuanian,
Yeah.
and they work hard on it.
Yeah.
So everyone
It's
and
possible
anyone
for, yeah.
can do it. Yes,
Exactly.
yes. Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Lithuania.
So, do you have any final words for our lovely viewers?
Yes. Do you want me to say it in English or in Lithuanian?
Okay, please. We want to hear your Yeah, please.
Okay, just a little bit.
Truputį.
Truputį.
Yeah.
I can say mano vardas yra Celina ir aš esu Filipino ir džiaugiuosi, kad esu čia šiandien ir tikiuosi, kad jums patik šis epizodas. Ačiū Jums. Ačiū
Oh
Jums
my
labai.
god.
Okay, I'll say it in English. Okay, so my name is Celina and I'm from the Philippines. And I am happy and I'm glad that I'm here today. And I hope that you will like this episode. Thank you.
I'm marveled by your Lithuanian skills. I'm serious. You sat here, you lied. That you speak Lithuanian Truputį. Guys, which part of it is Truputį?
It is Truputį. You know,
For those who don't understand, Truputį is like a Lithuanian.
I learned, I went to classes, online classes, I think for more than a year. But it was like, it wasn't continuous. Like, I have to take some breaks.
Yeah.
I took some classes and then I got pregnant. And then I had to
Got
stop.
lazy.
Yeah. And then I resumed a few months back. And then I stopped again because I got busy. So, but the learning is continuous.
You are doing amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try, especially now that we are like you and me, we are always in front of customers, when
Yeah.
we speak to people. I go to fairs and I have to like communicate with them, and so I force myself to learn.
It's a good thing.
It's actually helpful to understand, because when you speak the language, it helps you understand them more, their culture more.
Exactly.
And the more you understand them, the more you assimilate,
Yeah.
and the more you appreciate the country where you're at. So now I can say that I'm comfortable and happy here in Lithuania, and those little things that disturbed me before,
Don't bother you anymore.
yeah, it doesn't. Pripratao prieto.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me anymore. It doesn't bother me anymore.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's
like that. So,
Talking about understanding the language and understanding their culture reminds me of this. In English, if somebody calls you, either say like yes or something. Like for example, if I call you Celina, you say maybe yes. You don't say what.
oh, true.
Yes, but in Lithuanian, if somebody calls you, you say ka.
Yes. Yeah.
And for me, I thought it was really rude.
I know.
Yes.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
When somebody like tells them like gas.
Yeah.
And in English, if you translate it, I don't
It's
say
what-
like this.
yeah, you can't,
I don't
yeah.
say what. I say sorry. Like, pardon me. Can you
Yeah.
please repeat it?
So when I didn't really understand, I thought it was really rude.
Yeah.
But now I understand, and then I know it's supposed to be like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I'm still like how it is in English. I don't say what. If somebody speaks to me, I say atsi prosho.
Yeah, I still say that
Like,
too.
I'm sorry, like because you do it in English. Like if you don't understand
Direct
somebody,
translating from your
like,
brain.
I'm sorry, then you just say atsi prosho, and they understand that what you're asking, like to repeat what you said. So it's still for us. It's not rude for us.
Yeah.
And it's also not rude for them. So
Yes, yeah,
you don't feel bad like saying ka. Like, you're still polite. Like you it comes from you that you are polite.
So Celina, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. No,
And
I'm
this
going to thank
dish,
you. Yes.
it's
thank
so
you.
nice. I'm going to prepare this.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I can't wait for my husband to taste this. He's
Thank
going to love it. It's so nice.
Thank you.
I thought Africans had the best dishes in the
Oh.
world, but I was wrong.
You should try others as well.
I should, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And next time, if you're going to prepare it,
Mhm.
since I know that Africans love spicy dishes,
Yeah, we love.
add a bit of chili to this.
Okay.
Or I don't know the level of your spice.
No, actually,
Mid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a bit of chili because there's a place in the Philippines like they always combine coconut milk and chilies in every dish. So
Okay.
this is like the not spicy version, but people can some of them they put chili and it's amazing.
Okay. And guys, thank you so much for staying with us until the very end. I hope you enjoyed our chats. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up. Like it. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it with your friends and family, and then just leave your comments about this whole chat in the comment section. Talking about raising kids in Lithuania. Like just recently I had this chat with a Ugandan guy who expressed his experiences raising kids here in Lithuania. So you guys should check it out. I'll leave the link to it in the description section. That being said, Mr. Garo.
Mr. Garo.
Bye.
Iki malala.
Thank you.